Alright guys, what's up? Levi here from RCT&D. Today we are going to be checking out the new Arrma Kraton 4S V2. Now as you can see, we are on the Arrma website. I'm actually on my phone right now. I'll put a link in the description box down below to this website so you guys can go check it out. And so yes, today we're going to have a look at the new Arrma Kraton 4S V2. There's of course the Outcast 4S V2 as well, but we are going to be looking at the Kraton today. As you can see, there are two different colors, the black and blue and the black and sea green. They just call it green, but it's more like, you know, teal, turquoise, sea green, whatever. Doesn't really matter the color, it just looks epic. So we're going to be looking at this thing. Here is the video, Arrma's video, which we will check out at the end. And look at all these brand new features. So let's go through all these features. As you can see, 16% larger footprint, 3/4 of an inch longer than the original V1, almost 2 inches wider from the V1 as well. So a lot of stability, way better stability than the V1. As you can see, the white lines are the V1 and the solid is the V2. Let's move on. So yes, steel gears. Really like seeing that. The other one was very plasticky. A couple of years ago, I was almost sold on the Arrma Outcast 4S, but seeing how much plastic there was on there, I mean, plastic gears everywhere. Everything was plastic on there. It broke really easily in certain areas. I just didn't buy it because, yeah, it was just too much plastic on there. And plastic is a good thing, but too much plastic is not a good thing. So we have steel input gears and steel main diff gears, which look very high quality. Looking over here, these look very high quality. Of course, we got our O-rings and washers and everything in there. I haven't seen this design before. That looks different. I like the look of that. So here we have the steel ring gear on the differential, and we have steel spur gear now, steel ring gear, and yeah, a lot of steel gears on this thing now. Very nice to see that. Moving on, this is something I'm pretty excited about. We have steel CVD drive shafts. Yes, the other one had, of course, the plastic UJs, which on my Traxxas Haas break very, very easily. You know, they're also on the Max V2, which don't break so easily because they're a lot bigger and beefier, but I have broken those before. These look a lot stronger. I mean, look at that in there. Steel drive shafts. I've never seen this design before. You know, it looks like they're splined as well. Pretty interesting. This looks pretty bulletproof just looking at it. Moving on. Yes, this is another great thing. Tougher suspension arms. I don't even know what's going on with the V1 over there. I mean, what the heck is that? Look how thin these are. Those were the major weak point on the V1, was these A-arms would break very easily. And since the V2 ones are a little bit longer, if you do have a bad landing, you come down right on the corner, you know, it looks like you do have a little bit more leverage to rip these two eyelets out of the hinge pin, which I've done on my Haas before, but these do look very beefy, so we'll have to see about that. We have more plush suspension. I'm zoomed in a little bit. There we go. More plush suspension. Longer alloy shocks for increased suspension travel. So not only do we have aluminum shocks, the last one had plastic body shocks. They were very plush. They were plush, but they would leak all the time. You know, by what I've seen, all they did was just leak, and they didn't have the most travel ever. So it looks like we've got longer shocks, more travel, more plush, and they're aluminum. Really like to see that. And yes, here we go. Here it is compared to the V1 shocks, which is plastic. So this, of course, is a little bit longer. A silicone O-ring, better sealed. Longer travel, of course, plusher, aluminum shock body, tougher or stronger. So I like to see that they do include the little dirt guard right there. Nice to see that little touch. The bodies, I don't think are there's much of a difference in diameter. It's probably just this cap that's making this one look a little bit bigger, but I don't think so. I don't think they're that much bigger. Of course, they are longer though, and of course you can't have longer shocks without taller shock towers to increase the suspension travel. So you can see the V2 a lot taller than the V1. Again, I don't know if it's more durable. If you look at thickness, if you look up here and then look at it over here, the V2 does look a little bit thicker, but that could just be the difference in angle. And you know, also if you look at the honeycomb over there, then the honeycomb over here, this does seem to be a little bit deeper. Again, that could just be the angle that we're looking at. But anyway, moving on. Yes, D-boot copperhead tires. The looks of these are not my favorite, but they do have the stud pattern on these. Looks like they're gonna have super traction. You know, this is also what they used on the 8S and 6S version of the Kraton. Of course, shrunken down into the to fit the 4S version here. Very nice. I don't even know what's going on with the with the tread pattern on the V1. That looks like it has no traction at all. I just don't like that tread pattern. It just looks ugly. This is not as ugly, but I do like the studs on there. Looks like it's going to have maximum traction. Also, vented tire for increased durability. We'll have to see about that. And of course, new profile wing and stronger wing mount. I like to see that. So it looks like we have a different design on the wing here. And of course, our stronger wing mount, because that was also another weak point. Everything that was basically improved on this truck was a weak point on the other one. Another one of them was of course, the wing kept breaking off because the wing mount was very weak. And we have a stronger one here. Very nice to see that. And we are back to the first one here. And of course, here we have the Drivetrain V2 left and the V1 on the right. So as you can see, slide that over. This is the V1. What is that over there? Why do we have plastic gears there? That's just, the diff gears are plastic. The ring and pinion is plastic. What's up with that? Plastic universals. That just doesn't look good. And then if we look at this, oh man, yes. Everything is steel CVDs, steel gears, aluminum 17mm wheel hex. Very nice. Under the hood here, you know, just some pictures over here. Spectrum Smart Technology. I'm not a big fan of the Spectrum stuff. I'll probably just end up using, you know, my own 4S batteries in this thing. Looks like they want you to use two cell batteries, which, yeah, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm probably going to loop the other one or just cut one off. I don't know if you can do that with this. Oh, yes, actually you can. 120 amp 4S Smart brushless ESC, 2400 kV brushless motor. Yeah, that's good. Sway bars, yes, also will help with stability. Hopefully. Moving on. Go. Move on. There we go. 17mm wheel hexes, aluminum, already installed on there. Great upgrade to that already. Steel turnbuckles for, you know, of course, your maximum durability. A wider front bumper, that is a good thing. Absorb your impacts up front, and tougher wheelie bar frame. Like to see that. And it looks like it includes rubber tires on there as well. I know that doesn't sound like a huge deal, but to me, it is, because I like to do street runs sometimes, and you know, with my Max and Haas, those have plastic wheelie bar wheels, and they scrape more than they actually roll. So I did the upgrade on the Haas and put rubber wheelie bar wheels on there, and they're also on ball bearings, and it is so much smoother. It is awesome. So hopefully they have that on there too. Yes, we have skid plates now. I'm not too sure what the V1 looked like. Apparently that didn't have skid plates. I don't remember that, but we have skid plates now. Improved sealing in the gearbox up front here. Slipper clutch assembly is not a big fan of the slipper clutch assemblies because those come loose all the time. But I think I saw somewhere where these are actually made stronger and tougher, and it looks to be that way as well. So hopefully that won't be too much of a big problem. Thicker motor plate, fully adjustable sliding gear mesh, that's fine. It does look like it's going to be pretty hard to set that gear mesh because of the sealing around the gears there. And then safety 5 pinion gear, and along with a E-ring on there to help keep that on. Improved battery and wire management. All front battery retainer and battery wire clips. So oh, I like that. Ooh, I did not know that. We have battery wire clips, so our wires don't flop around. That's cool. I did not know that about this. Pretty sick. Because, yeah, that's a big problem on all my RCs. Wires flopping around. And then this is just some more specifications here. Rubber shielded bearings. Reduces maintenance, so we don't have to replace our bearings so much. Center brace with rubber dampener. This was also on the V1, the center brace, so this is basically like a shock absorber right there. That's pretty cool. I like that on the V1. And then moving over, integrated servo saver. That's pretty cool right there. I like that, having the servo saver right on there. 23 tooth spline fitment for Spectrum servos. Moving on, and we have Arrma modular design Spectrum technology. I like this right here. Look at this. You can take all your electronics out in just 2 units. I mean, the motor and everything, that's all 1 unit. You know, your receiver box, ESC, and servo, that comes out all in 1 unit. That makes maintenance and stuff a lot easier. Yeah, see here, easy access electronics module. I like that they show you that it only takes 5 screws to remove that. Makes everything very easy. Maintenance. Easy access power module. 1 screw removal. That's cool. Makes life easier. Slipper clutch, quick access slipper clutch. That also, I like having the quick access to everything here. Again, not a big fan of the slipper clutch, but we'll have to see about that. Time will tell on that. This car's not even released yet. It's coming out in, I want to say, July at some point. Easy access differential module. Again, 4 screw removal. To get that out, and then we are back up top, and then we are at some more specifications here. ESC motor, we've already kind of went over all this. 4S, 2S, 3S, 4S compatible. And then our radio, I'm kind of worried about this. Well, first looking at it, it was kind of like, great, another Spectrum radio. But then reading this, I was like, okay, this makes me feel a little bit better. Fast response protocol, foam wheel, improved grip and trigger feel, improved grip and trigger force, 2-way thumb switch, 3rd channel, 50%, 75%, and full throttle mode, which is, of course, obviously 100%. That is included on a lot of Arrma and low-C radios. Moving on to our receiver. Again, Spectrum receiver, everything Spectrum on this thing. Compatible with SLT&D, SMR, 2.4 gigahertz protocol transmitters, fast responsive rate, outstanding range. Like to see that too. Looks like it's gonna have good range. I wish they would put how much range it does have. No tool binding and protocol switching. I like that. You don't have to use a tool to bind it. Smart telemetry compatible, and DMSR mode with Spectrum dashboard app. So what I get out of that is you basically, all you got to do is download an app to be able to tell your speed, because there's already a telemetry built in to the receiver. I think that's what that means. I'm not too sure. Let me know down below. Spectrum servo, waterproof, strong steel gears. Like to see that. 265 inches of torque at 7.4 volts or 232 inches of torque at 6 volts. Waterproof, steel gears, yada yada yada. Like to see that. Good. And then down here we just have some more specifications, so you can kind of pause and read that. But let's go up to the top and check out these videos real quick here. These are by Arrma.
You keep making it worse, and now we got a situation. You always take the hard way to learn, and when I take my turn, I'm gonna let it all burn until there's nothing left. Let it all burn to the bitter end. Let it all burn. Well, I don't see how you could save this. It didn't come as a surprise. You're hiding shadows like you're famous, but you made your bed and now it's time to lie. And when I take my turn, gonna let it all burn until there's nothing left. Let it all burn to the bitter end. Let it all burn for what you've done and said. Let it all burn. Let it all. I'm gonna let it all burn.
Alright, well, there you have it. That is one of the videos. That was just the montage video. And then down here was a under the hood video. Yes, I wanted to see this real quick. We'll check this out real quick. The volume down a little bit. So it does look a lot like the 6S. Just throwing that out there. A little bit smaller. Copperhead tires, yes. So it sounds like we got some Stranger Things music here. 4S power system, 2400 kV brushless motor. Yup, pretty much everything we already saw. 4S power system, again, 120 amp ESC. Only 2 capacitors on there. 16% increase in footprint, longer chassis, length, width, aluminum shocks, longer stroke, more travel, metal transmission, diff gears, everything's metal, 17mm hexes, EXB, CVD, slider, drive shafts. I think that's what that said. EXB, CVD, slider, drive shafts. Yup. Steel couplings. New rear wing mount, anti-wear screws. That's interesting. Plastic chassis, yes, I like that. Metal bends. You see, everybody who likes metal chassis, no matter how strong the grade of aluminum is, no matter how much bracing there is, you're gonna bend a metal chassis at some point. Plastic is way better. You always go with a plastic chassis. New wheelie bar, strong design, rubber tires, and yeah, I really like the rubber tires on there. Alright guys, well, there you have it. There is the ARRMA Kraton 4x4 4S V2 BLX 55-mile-an-hour top speed, of course with optional gearing. Guys, that's going to be the end of this video. If you did enjoy, make sure to give it a big thumbs up if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below. And I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye.